Welcome to On a Mission Momentum, your weekly dose of clarity, confidence, and offer building mojo. I'm Lori Young, offer strategist, soulful marketer, and your behind the scenes business bestie. Each week, we dive into the mindset shifts, marketing strategies, and soulful sales tools that help you package your brilliance, attract dream clients, and grow a business that feels as good as it works. If you're here to make a difference, and get paid for your purpose, you're in the right place. Today, let's take a walk through the offer graveyard. You know the place where all of those, this is going to be it, ideas go to die. Some were buried before they were ever tested. Some were quietly ghosted after a lackluster launch. Some died of burnout. And some we straight up abandoned because we didn't know what else to do. And hey, some of them needed to die. Not every offer is meant to live forever or even live at all. We evolve. Our audience shifts. The things we were so passionate about 6 months ago may now feel like putting on someone else's shoes. But here's the part that no one talks about. There's grief in letting go of a great idea, even if it wasn't quite working, even if it wasn't quite right. So today, I want to offer you two things: permission to grieve the offer that's no longer aligned, and a strategic lens to decide if it's time to pivot, scrap, or push through. Because while we can bury any offer, that doesn't mean we should. In this week's episode, I will walk you through the three most aligned decisions you can make when something just isn't selling and how to know which one is right for you. It's honest, it's nuanced, and yes, there's a little tough love because your offer deserves more than a quick burial just because things got quiet. So let's dive in. Is your offer not selling? Learn when to pivot, scrap, or push forward. You've poured your heart into this offer. Maybe it came to you in meditation, or maybe it spilled out after one too many client calls that ended with, "Can you help me with this?" You did the brave thing. You built it. You named it. You launched it. And now, deafening silence. Or worse, polite nods, half-hearted likes, and no conversions. It's like planting a garden with love only to wake up day after day to bare soil. You start to question everything. Was the idea wrong? Did I miss something? Do I even know what I'm doing? It's one of the most disheartening experiences for a purpose-driven entrepreneur when the thing you created with so much intention doesn't get the traction that you hoped for. But here's the truth. A quiet launch doesn't mean your work isn't valuable. It means something in the strategy, structure, or visibility of your offer needs adjusting. And sometimes what's needed is a bold decision. Do you pivot, scrap it entirely, or keep going? Let's walk through each option together. The three roads: pivot, scrap, or push forward. When your offer isn't selling, it's easy to internalize it as a personal failure. But the decision about what to do next is actually a strategic one, not an emotional one. These three options, pivot, scrap, or push forward, aren't indicators of success or failure. They're tools for recalibration. Each one can be an act of alignment depending on what's truly going on underneath the surface of your sales slump. Option one: when to pivot your offer. Pivoting doesn't mean starting over. It means making meaningful shifts to realign your offer with what your ideal clients are ready to say yes to. But emotionally, it can feel like betrayal of your own ideas or of the people who encouraged you to create them. Pivoting means admitting that something isn't quite landing, and that can stir up self-doubt, guilt, or even fear of confusing your audience. Here are some signs that a pivot is the right move. You're getting engagement, but not conversions. Maybe people are commenting, "This looks amazing," on your post or downloading your freebie, but they're not signing up. That often means there's interest, but confusion or hesitation around the offer's core promise. You're hearing some version of, I'm not sure this is for me. If people are intrigued but unsure, you might be too vague in your messaging or too broad in your targeting. You've evolved, but your offer hasn't. This happens more than you think. You grow as a coach or healer, but the offer you created a year ago doesn't reflect the transformation you're truly facilitating now. Here's a real story about when strategy needed soul. A business coach that I worked with had been running business growth based offers, programs that helped entrepreneurs with marketing and growth strategies. And these came from her background in public relations. And while they were helpful, they weren't what lit her up. She had accidentally fallen into them because people kept asking. Over time, she started feeling disconnected and emotionally drained. Together, we began reimagining her offer suite, not just what was marketable, but what felt true. We mapped an offer ecosystem that reflected her passion for helping leaders make aligned, soul led decisions for their life and careers. The shift wasn't dramatic from the outside, but internally, everything changed. She started simplifying her business, leaning into a renewed sense of purpose, and showing up with the clarity that her audience immediately noticed. How to pivot gracefully. Start by examining 3 key areas. 1 is the promise. Is it clear, specific, and desirable? A transformational offer must solve a problem that your audience knows they have. Number 2, the audience. Have you been trying to speak to everyone? Consider narrowing your focus. A good pivot often includes niching more deeply. And number 3, the delivery. Does your format match the needs of your people? Some offers work better as intensives or short programs instead of month-long containers. Pivoting might mean rewriting your sales page to highlight the outcome more boldly, changing your offer name to reflect your ideal client's language, or recording your freebie so it aligns better with the program that it's meant to lead into. None of these changes mean the offer was a mistake. It means that you're listening. Option 2, when to scrap the offer and why that's not failure. Let's be honest, the idea of scrapping something you've invested in, time, energy, and money, can feel like a gut punch. There's grief, sometimes even shame, especially if you've talked about it publicly. But sometimes the bravest thing you can do is release an offer entirely. Signs it's time to let go. Number 1, you've launched it multiple times with little traction, even after refining. You've tried different angles, tweaked the messaging, maybe even ran a few sales calls. Still nothing. Number 2, you feel drained, not excited when you talk about it. If the thought of relaunching the offer makes your body tighten or your energy drop, that's information. Alignment matters just as much as strategy. And number 3, the market or your focus has shifted. Maybe this offer made sense a year ago, but now your niche has evolved. Or perhaps the needs of your community have changed, and this isn't what they're asking for anymore. Here's a real story: letting go to make space. I worked with an art writer who wanted to help neurodiverse and underrepresented artists gain visibility. She created an offer that included art reviews, podcast interviews, online exhibits, and more. Her heart was in it. But through her conversations with artists, she realized something crucial. Most of them didn't have the financial resources to invest. No matter how aligned the offer was with her values, it wasn't going to be sustainable. So she made the courageous decision to let it go. Now she's back in the market research phase, having honest conversations about what these artists truly want, need, and are willing to pay for. Her vision hasn't changed, but her path is becoming much more viable. What scrapping actually creates room for? Letting go clears energetic clutter. It opens space for the offer that wants to come through, the one that reflects where you are now, not where you were when you first drafted that Google Doc. Scrapping isn't quitting, it's choosing not to invest more time, energy, or money in something that's out of alignment. And it's one of the most strategic moves that you can make as a business owner. You may even find that elements of this scrapped offer become the seeds for a new one, its essence reborn in a more aligned form. Option 3, when to push forward because you're closer than you think. Here's the sneaky thing about purpose-driven business. Sometimes the exact moment you want to give up is the moment right before it starts to click. There's emotional weight here too. Pushing forward can feel exhausting when you're already tired. But sometimes what's needed is not reinvention, it's repetition, visibility, and trust building. Here are some signs that you should keep going. 1, you've barely launched. If you've only posted a few times on Instagram or quietly mentioned it to your list, you haven't truly tested the offer. Many entrepreneurs assume their offer isn't working when in reality, it just hasn't had enough visibility to gather feedback. Number 2, your audience is still warming up. Maybe they're new to your world. Maybe they need more education because before they're ready to invest. Sales often come after multiple touches, especially in coaching and healing, where trust and resonance matter deeply. And number 3, you're getting aligned feedback. If a few people have expressed real interest, but the timing wasn't right, or they asked great questions during sales calls, that's gold. It means the offer resonates. You just need to stay in the game a little longer. Here's a real story about trusting the long game. When I first launched the Aligned Offer Accelerator, I believed in it deeply. I'd seen over and over how much my clients struggled to clarify, structure, and sell their offers. But when I introduced the program through an email campaign, it didn't sell. I could have scrapped it, but the more I talked to coaches, healers, and service-based founders, the clearer it became. This offer did solve a real problem. The desire was there. It just needed more visibility, more trust, and more time. I kept going. I spoke about it in live summits, on podcast episodes, in private conversations, and slowly the momentum built. People began to reach out and the offer started selling. That experience reminded me not every offer needs a pivot. Some just need persistence. What pushing forward looks like. 1, upping your visibility game. This might mean running a live workshop, doubling your emails, or doing guest interviews. 2, clarifying your sales ecosystem. Do you have a nurture sequence, a compelling sales page, an aligned lead magnet? All of these help bridge the gap between curiosity and conversion. And number 3 is getting support. Sometimes pushing forward means asking for help, a mentor, a strategist, or even just feedback from a peer who gets it. You don't have to go it alone. Pushing forward is an act of devotion, not desperation. It says, I believe in the transformation and I'm willing to keep showing up for it. Decision time. How to know which path is right for you. So how do you choose? Start by pausing the noise and tuning into both the data and your intuition. Ask yourself, what's the actual feedback telling me? Separate real responses from assumptions. Are people confused, uninterested, asking for something slightly different? Ask yourself, where am I energetically? Your body is wise. If you feel excited to improve and relaunch, great. If you feel dread or disconnection, honor that. And the last question you want to ask is, am I afraid or is this truly misaligned? Fear can masquerade as misalignment, but they're different. Fear says, what if I fail again? Misalignment says, this didn't fit anymore. Your job is to discern the difference and then make a choice, not based on ego or urgency, but on clarity. Realignment is not retreat. If your offer isn't selling, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're being invited into deeper alignment. When you pivot, scrap, or push through, your decision is not a detour, it's the path. You're building something that reflects not just what you do, but who you are. That takes courage, that takes clarity, and it takes real trust. So take the time, make the space, listen deeply. Your next move will come from a place of clarity, not panic, because your business should feel good to run and your offer deserves to reach the people who need it most. Ready to get clarity? If you're stuck in the swirl, you don't have to figure it out alone. Try our free AI offer confidence tool to assess your current offer alignment and marketability. Book an offer power hour with me for a strategy session to pinpoint your next best move. Or join the Aligned Offer Accelerator to rebuild your offer from the inside out, aligned, transformational, and ready to sell with soul. Your work matters. Let's make your offer ready to shine.